Okie dokie. So let me know if there's any issues in hearing me, anything like that. So today is our Corel draw tutorial, and I am excited. So I have planned for this one to do some flowers. And if there's any request, let me know. And what we're planning on doing for these is we're just going to go over some basics. And these can also be used for other types of design programs. Now, some of these won't really be able to be used for Cricut, but you can use it for like Silhouette. You can use it for other programs, but you'll still be able to learn something as well. So, making sure everybody's here. So, if you're on Facebook, you do have to give permissions for me to see your name on StreamYard, but I can see that you comment. But we're going to go ahead and get started. But hello. I am excited for this. I do love doing this. Let's see. Oh, let me go back to StreamYard and add this to the stream. Let's do it like this. So you can still see me. And I have on headphones so that way people can make more noise in the house. And they don't disturb whenever I'm trying to do the tutorials. Okay, so we're going to work on some basic flowers because, it's something, again, it's a basic skill that you can kind of use and build off of to make it a little bit easier. I did print like a little cheat sheet so it's nothing major, just so you could I could have a little bit of a reference to remember to look at, because my brain doesn't always function. It's not like a how-to, it's just to remember, like, I don't know if you can see it, like the basic shapes, because my brain doesn't always remember things. But like sunflower, daisy, that kind of thing. Always, always, always. Now, for doing this type of thing, or at least for me, a lot of people can do this by hand. For me, I do this with geometry or with circle squares, that type of thing, because I'm not very good at doing things by hand. I cannot draw to save my life, but I can use the shapes tools in art programs. So that's what we're going to do. Now, in Corel Draw, you have I got to tighten these up a little bit because my head's smaller than Jeremy's. These are his headphones. So you have like your ellipse tool, you have your square tool, you also have the basic shapes. So you've got your polygon, which are, the 5-sided shapes, but you also have common shapes. Now, through your common shapes, which is what's kind of cool, you have your basics, which is, well, a polygon isn't wait, yeah, it is. Because this is a trapezoid. I don't remember. Afternoon. And then, what is it? Whatever it's like that. Don't get me to telling you wrong information because I can't remember what they're called. But, like, they've got triangles, all that kind of stuff. But what's nice about it is they do have shapes that can be used for petals on flowers, which is a good cheat if you don't want to have to create the shapes yourself. But it's also good because you can use some of these to make animals, to create things yourself, which is what is nice. They also have banner shapes, flowchart shapes, but you can use these in creation of your own designs, which is kind of what I've been practicing with and learning to do. The more you do this, you start to see things in shapes, if that makes sense. It's kind of like whenever I first started doing signs and shirts and things like that, I had no idea fonts. The longer I've done this, I've started to recognize fonts and I'm like, that's this font. That's that font. Now I see things and I'm like, you can put this shape with this shape to make that object. You start to see things in that manner. So we're going to make some flowers because doesn't that sound lovely? Or at least it does to me. So let's get started. But we're going to start off with making some out of circles because in case you have just a basic program that doesn't have anything other than like a circle tool, then we're going to start off with the basics. So we're going to create just a basic circle. Very simple. Now, since my circle is not a perfect circle, I'm going to turn off this little tool, which is the proportion, because I did not make it a perfect circle, and I'm going to make it a perfect circle. So I'm going to turn that 3 inches and make it 3 inches. Now, I don't want an outline on it, at least not yet. So I'm going to take and delete the outline. Okay. And I'm going to go over here. This is the properties. And it did not delete my outline. And delete my outline. Make sure there's no outline. Okay. Oh, I gotta open up Corel again. Let me go ahead and reopen it. I've been using it all day creating artwork, and I do not want to open up any backups. And sometimes whenever I'm making artwork all day, it likes to do that to me. But whenever you create artwork, let's try that again. Always make sure you save often. And also, I have it where it does auto backups. What are you doing to me? Let's go ahead and I am not going to let it reopen. Let's go ahead and reopen it ourselves. Okay, there we go. Okie dokie. Now let's try that again. Okay, we're creating our ellipse again. We're going to turn off the proportion, make it 3 inches by 3 inches. We don't want it to have an outline. And we're going to make it yellow, because what center of a flower isn't yellow? You can make it whatever color you want to. And I'm going to make sure it's not transparent. Okie dokie. And I'm going to go ahead and convert it to curves, because I don't need it to be a circle. Because whenever you're working with any type of plotter, cutter, Cricut, Silhouette, they're all the same kind of thing. It is a vector program, so we might as well make it a curve, because that's what turns it into a cut file. And you can use it for printing as well, but it's easier just to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this, and I'm going to go ahead and paste it. So now we have 2 circles. And we're doing a second circle because we're going to turn that into our petal, our first petal. So let's go ahead and change the color for this. Well, let's make this into a sunflower. So let's change our first circle brown, because, you know, sunflowers typically have a brownish center, right? Let's take and squish that in. And we're going to move that behind. So we're going to go up here. If you look at, oh, I'm not even showing. Hold on. Am I showing on here? There we go. Sorry. Let me re-show you what I was doing. Okay. So I turned my big circle brown. I took my second circle. So I copied this. I pasted it. Let's delete this. We made this yellow. And we're going to make it into an oval. So we're just squishing it down to make a petal. Okay. Like that, to make it into a sunflower petal. And we want this to be the back layer, because, you know, petals go behind. So we're going to go ahead and up here at the top, as you can see, that's the arrange tool. And we're going to move that behind. So perfect. So I like the width. I think of that. I think that looks pretty good. So for this, I do want to have an outline behind for this. I think that that's going to look good. So let's see what size outline we want it to have. 2, maybe a little bit bigger. 3, what about 4? Let's do a 6. Okay, I think I like a 6 with a rounded edge. And I want the outline to be brown. Let's do it but behind the fill. So we're going to go ahead and make that outline bigger. 10, no, 16 point. Okay. Now don't worry, this is our first layer of petals. So I like that. Now, what I'm going to do is I want to make sure that that is centered with the circle. So we're going to align, center horizontally. Okay. Now I'm going to copy and paste. Now I'm not going to mirror it because that's not going to work. And so as you can see, I just brought it down to the bottom half of that, and I am going to move it to the back. Again, we're going to align it centered horizontally. So as you can see, we're starting now. Right now it kind of looks like, I'm not sure what it looks like, but it's starting to kind of get somewhere. I mirrored that earlier, but I don't want it mirrored. But I do think that that needs to come out a little bit more. So we're just kind of looking at things to make sure they look equal. But I don't want it to be too perfect. You can make it perfect, but I don't want it to be too perfect. And that's part of it. You can decide on if you want it perfect, but I don't. Okay. I mean, I want it to look good, but I don't want it to be like, oh. I still want it to look like I made it, if that makes sense. Let's mirror that again. Let's see. But you kind of see what I'm saying. It's just kind of playing with it and seeing what I like best. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy our circle. This is a great way to lay it out so you can figure out exactly how you want things done. And I'm going to make this, say, how big do we want to make this? 5 inches by 5 inches. Nope, let's make it bigger. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Let's see what that looks like to the back. And let's make it a completely different color. Okay. And okay. That's going to give us a good basis. What I'm going to do now is take and make sure these two are lined up center. So I'm going to align center vertically and align center horizontally. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is take my first petal Nope, I don't like it that short. So let's make you bigger. So I can actually change that and make this 8 inches. Perfect, I think that'll be good. I can take and align to the top and align to the bottom. So now we know that that is center. And then I can take and make sure align centers horizontally, align so there you go. So those are what our petals are looking like so far. And now I can take and group those together. And I can copy and paste them. And we can rotate those 90 degrees. So we've got 4 of our petals now. Group those, copy, paste, move those to the back. Not 90, is it 270 or is it 45? Okay, now we've got more of our petals. Okay, group those, copy, paste, move those behind. And I think it's what now, 270? Or what is it? Let's see. I have to remember the math behind it. $21. So there we go. We've got our basic sunflower down. Not super hard now, is it? Pretty easy. If we take and hide that, it's done. All that we have to do now is take and ungroup all of this, which what we'll take and do is take all of this, copy, paste, And we're going to take all of these pieces, ungroup, 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 ungroup. Let's group. Oh, that one I'm going to leave below. So that's all ungrouped. Pretty simple. Now, all the pieces that have outlines, I'm going to take all of those and I'm going to take and convert the outlines to objects. Slice it. Oh, wrong way. So I'm going to go through and take and convert my outlines to objects and do my slicing. And we're going to do this the easier way. Instead of doing it this way, we're going to do it the easy way. I will show you. I am going to take all of those object create instead of making it go the longer way. I'm going to take and create a boundary, because if I do it the other way, it'll take a long time. Reduce the nodes. There we go. Take all my little brown pieces, move them together, because if I do it the other way, it takes so long. If you create a boundary, especially since there's not a whole lot of other little things to do with this, since it's just the petals, this goes a whole lot faster. Just FYI. Now, for everything, this isn't faster, but because this is such a simple image, this goes a whole lot faster. Huh. Bless me. So, and I will take and upload these images onto Patreon when we're done. So if you don't want to create these yourself, you'll have these as just like basic images to be able to use in your stuff. So okay. Now I'm going to take and make sure that there's no outline, because I don't need the outline. It's already got one. I'm going to move it to the back. Hold on. Okay. And move it to the back. Okie dokie. And we can start ungrouping these. Move that one back to the back. And we're going to take and weld that together. Oh, these headphones are uncomfortable. Okay. That's not what I meant to do. Okay. Now, we can slice. Take and remove the background, and it's pretty easy. If I can do it correctly. Okie dokie. Okay. Let's Do this again. Okay. Slice each petal. Perfect. Simple and easy. Wait, I'm doing this wrong. What am I thinking? This is why you make copies. Delete. This is why we make copies. See, I make mistakes too. Okie dokie. Okay. Ungroup all. Okay. Okay, convert outline to object again. And convert outline to object. So, slice. First things first, let's go ahead and reduce our nodes. Because there's a lot. There's a whole lot for those outlines. A whole lot. So we need to go ahead and clean that up some. It'll go much smoother. Without that. As you can see, there's so many nodes, it's not even funny. And you don't want all that. You don't. Let's zoom in so you can see things a little bit better. I mean, I'm sure that would help. And if y'all have questions, comments, concerns, let me know. I will gladly answer along the way. Because if not, I get into the zone and I might forget to talk, but I do talk to myself a lot, so there's always a possibility of that too. I do both. Okay, let's see. Oh, did I forget? Yeah, I forgot to finish reducing the nodes. And there we go. Okay, okay. Perfect. Now, let's do some slicing. Okay, that did not go the way it was supposed to. Why are you not wanting to slice? Okay, that actually did do what it was supposed to. Why did you not show that you did what you were supposed to? But you didn't do it there. We'll just work around that. Okay. Okay. So what I'm doing now is I'm just kind of going around making sure the petals are cut out the way that they're supposed to be. So let's try to cut that one out again. Nope, that did not do what it was supposed to. So maybe if I take and do it the opposite way. Nope, that didn't do it either. Okay. So what if I take you and boundary, 0, put you there, make you a brown, you're not the petal I was working on. Okay. Now, if I take you and slice and did that do what you were supposed to? I think that did. It did, it did. So, that did exactly what I wanted it to. So, now let's take that yellow petal and slice you. So, you can see now what we're doing. We're getting somewhere. So, we just don't want any of the overlap at all. So, let's leave the brown up. But as we take the yellow, I want to have the yellow get rid of the overlap over the brown, but not over the, because we're going to weld the brown together. if that makes sense. So there we go. So that petal's completely done. So I'm going to keep that one hidden for now. It's the easiest way to do it so we know which one is complete. I'm going to move that one to the top. So let's look at this one. That one looks completely complete too. So we're going to hide it. Oh, it's not completely complete. Because of the brown beside it. So we're going to take it. I'm going to grab the outline beside it, and we're going to slice it. There we go. So now it's done, and we're going to hide it and bring it to the top. Let's take a look at this one, and it is not complete. So I'm going to take it, and I'm going to slice that edge, and hide it. Okay, now I'm going to grab it. Okay, see, it didn't like its own background. So again, whenever it doesn't like it, I'm going to go up here to the top, go to Object, Boundary, No Outline, Brown, there we go. Slice it. Now, I know this is tedious work, but it is what it is. It's one of those things, it's tedious, but it's kind of got to be done. And that's part of the point. The tedious stuff still has to get done. So you might as well see me do it, because that's part of doing artwork. And that's part of doing this. And you need to learn how to deal with it if you have the issues of, like with the petals. If it comes up for you, you need to know how to fix it. So that's what we're showing you. Okay, let's see what we're working with now. Okay, so I know for sure this brown is going to have to slice into this petal. So let's see if that looks good. I think that one's going to be finished. Nope, it's not done yet. Because this brown has to slice into This has to slice into this. Oh, sorry. This has to slice into this. Right there. Oh, wrong thing. This one has to slice into this. So I got to move that back down. There we go. Awesome. So let's see what we're working with this. Okay. So now we got to slice into this. Figured it was going to do that. Almost all the top layers do that. Object, boundary, okay, where are you? Okay, no outline. Slice it. There we go. Delete you. Okay. Perfect. Okie dokie. We're getting there, y'all. We're getting there. I guess we're only going to create one today because this is going to take forever. You forget how long these things take to do, or at least I do. Especially because these headphones are giving me a headache. But, I mean, a good little sunflower is a good thing to learn. There we go. I still forgot to turn that one off. Okie dokie. Now, let's slice you. Okay. So, this will slice this. I know that. This one will slice this for sure. Perfect. And then this will go up here. So that one's now done. Awesome. I know I'm gonna slice you, but I know exactly. Yep. Boundary. Again. No outline. Brown. Okie dokie. Slice. Perfect. Okay. So slice this one, then we're going to slice that. There we go. Perfect. That one is now complete. Slice that one. That one's not done. So it is that one needs to slice there. And this one needs to slice this one. We got some extra nodes. That's one thing when you're doing a lot of slicing work, you need to go back and check because there's going to be nodes and you need to check them because you're going to want to get rid of all that or it's going to be messy and you do not want all of that. It will not look good. This is part of the reason why when doing artwork, it takes so long, so long, so long. See what I'm saying? And it's a lot. But yeah. And a lot of it is it's not stuff that you actually have to really even worry about. It's just parts of it are just there. Like, I guess is the best way to describe it. It's just stuff that is there from leftovers and it's stuff that stays from when you're doing slicing. And it's not things that are going to constantly stay there. And when you go to weld it, it won't be there. And you have to remember to go in and clean it all up or it will wreak havoc on your stuff later. So if you notice it, clean it up. Don't just leave it there. It's just better that way. Because I don't know how many times I have gotten artwork and it was supposed to have been professionally done, and it definitely was not. And you can always tell, and it bugs me. And many of you, I'm sure, have dealt with whenever you go to get like a piece of art or you bought something and it's just not well done. Now, I'm not going to sit there and say I've never made a mistake and there hasn't been like a gap in an art piece of art or, it happens. But whenever you go to get when you've downloaded something and it's just absolutely terrible, you know what I mean? And you're like, "What did I just pay for?" Or "What did I just get?" You're like, you wanna make sure, you don't do the same thing to somebody else. So, that's part of the reason why I try to make sure I practice what I preach and teach people to make sure to double check that their artwork is clean. Even if it takes a tutorial 10 times longer, double checking to make sure it's clean is important. That one's not done yet. But yeah. So, always make sure your artwork's clean. That's advice I will always tell you to do. Okie dokie. Let's finish this off. So, okay, let's slice that. Okay, object boundary. No outline. Wrong one. Okay, hold on. Which one was it? There we go. Okay, perfect. Okay. Now, let's take and slice that and slice that. Oh, we gotta slice that one. I'm telling you, it's a tedious process. A very tedious process. Okay. Okie dokie. Okay, so let's see. Slice the background for that one. Double check to make sure it's clean. Perfect. Let's do the background for this one, which I am sure will take and need a boundary. I can almost guarantee it. It's like the Men's Warehouse commercial. Object, shaping, boundary. You're gonna love our suits. I guarantee it. Do y'all remember those commercials? I do. I remember so many commercials from when I was a kid. Okay. Trim that one. Trim this one. We're almost there. We're 3/4 of the way through. Yep, yep. Yep, yep. Okie dokie. Trim it. Perfect. Nope, gotta go back. Okay. So trim that one. Okay. This one. Has to trim that one. Okay. Perfect. Let's zoom in again to make sure things are clean. And again, you see a lot of these aren't even stuff that isn't that it's bad, it's just because of where because it's on an edge that didn't really connect to anything. That's why it needs to be double checked. And once we weld it, you won't have to really worry about it, but again, we wanna make sure it's clean in between because it just makes a difference in the long run. It's something that I just do. A lot of people who make SVGs don't even do this, and I don't know why. And you can see which ones I did as boundaries because they are transparent still, which I'll go back and fix that. Okay. Okay, I figured that was going to happen. These headphones, which is probably part of the reason why I am having trouble. I mean, also bad brain. Hopefully I can get our Bluetooth stuff situated so I don't have to wear these because these are terrible. I do not know how he likes these. Because they're bad. Okay, let's see. So, okay. Slice it. And slice it. Perfect. I didn't I didn't hide it like I always do. Duh. You would think that this is my first time showing people how to make something. It's okay. It's not my first rodeo. Okie dokie. Okay, I think that one's going to be good to go. Awesome. Perfect. Oop, that one's got some cleanup that needs to be done. Right down there. Perfect. So does that one. Okay. Let's zoom in to make sure we get it all cleaned up. Perfect. Again, as you can see, it's because I'm not using my mouse either, um, because it's not really touching anything. Okie dokie. Okay. 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 Let me go back. Perfect. Okay. Okay. Let's slice that now. Okay. Okay. Let's slice that now. See if I have that fixed. Darn it. Okay, hold on. Okay. Think that should fix it. That was part of the issue. Is if you look, all of these little cuts were making it where it wouldn't slice correctly. It almost makes it where that kind of stuff makes it very difficult to cut correctly. Okay, let's try that now. That's better. Okie dokie. Much better. Now, let's see. Okay. It's gonna drive me insane. Goodness gracious. This is not my normal mouse, just in case y'all are wondering why I'm like zooming in and out like I don't know how to use a mouse, because apparently I do not. Okie dokie. There we go. Add. Okay. 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 Okay, dokie. Now I can figure this out. Okay. Add. To curve. When you do it to curve, it gives you extra arrows. So you can actually line it up with things. I'm going to take and bring that back so I can see where things are supposed to go. Because as you can see, there's a lot of extra little lines in here that really aren't supposed to even be here. And I'm not sure why at all. So let's see. Okay, let's see. We can get rid of a lot of this. Not that. I need that back. We can minimize it though. Okay. Okay. There we go. Okay. Add another one right there. Let's zoom in a little bit down here so I can see more of what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's not going to matter as much down here. But why sometimes it does this, I have no idea. If anybody knows, let me know. Because as I've said before, I am not a graphic designer. I am self-taught. I mean, I have a book. Does that count? That's how I've learned it all. I don't even think I've ever really watched even a YouTube video. Uh, I have a Corel for Dummies, and if I have a question, I take and go and search it up, and I'll look in a forum because I don't really learn by watching. I am not, I don't know if that's weird because I do tutorials online, but I am not a visual learner. I am a learner by reading. So I typically take, and if I need to learn something, I go look it up, and that's what I do, and that's how I learn. And yeah, so I am all self-taught. Gosh darn it, this mouse makes me mad. Ah, this is not what I'm trying to do. This is what I'm trying to do. To make it back to where it's supposed to be. Because you want it to be exactly what it's supposed to do. Okie dokie. Okay, I think that is it. Perfect. Okay. Now, back to what I was doing. Okay. Again, that's what I expected. Let's go ahead and object, boundary, 0, brown, that's not what I did. Let's save you in case you're gonna act stupid. Flower. We're gonna save you to the desktop. Make you brown. Okie dokie. Isn't that the one I just did? Yes. Okie dokie. Let's do this. Trim you. Perfect. Trim you. I wonder if they just did an update or something, because it's been acting silly all day today. Because, you know, whenever they decide to do updates on programs, they like to act silly. Okie dokie. It's our last petal, y'all. Let's see what happens when we move it. Oh, nope, I gotta move it down. So, and slice it. Okay, now let's make sure everything's clean, because that part's not clean. Okay. Okay, that one's good. 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 We're almost there. And the last yellow petal is good. Now, what we need to do is weld these together, and hopefully there's no issue. And slice the circle. Nope, wrong thing. That's not slicing. That was welding it. Okay. Perfect. So our yellow portion is done. We can minimize that. Now, for our brown. This is going to be the hard portion. We're going to slowly start welding these together. We're going to do these a section at a time, a petal at a time, because sometimes when you're welding these together, when they've had any issues, they want to be a pain in the hiney. So we're going to do them a petal at a time. And as we go through, I'm going to go ahead and slow down and clean up, just to be on the safe side. Because there's no reason not to. Because as you can see, there's all these other little cuts that we really don't need whenever it comes to the welded portions. And we want to go ahead and slowly start fixing that. And we might as well do it as we go. See how we're getting there? Now for this one, because we had issues right there, I'm going to go ahead and add a node before we weld it. And I'm going to just make sure we take away any reason for there to be any issues to begin with. The less cleanup, the better. I mean, like, I don't mind deleting notes, but sitting there trying to do any break apart and all that kind of stuff is just, that's always enclosing curves. That's a lot of things that is hard. Now, you don't actually have to go through and do like all the stuff that I'm doing. It's just, and sometimes you can kind of go at it from a different angle. And then weld it together. It helps. But if you see, if you do it in smaller sections, it tends to work out better than if you do it all at once. For some reason. And sometimes if you go through and group it, and then take and select it, it works. There's all kinds of little tips and tricks. But that right there, that is break apart, break apart. So what I'm doing is I broke apart those nodes so that way I could join those together. Because there's so many cuts in this where the petals overlapped. That's why. And see, stuff like this, the hardest part whenever you're doing something like this isn't because it's complex to lay it out. It's the overlap that is the hard part. It's not the because it's super intricate, it's because of the overlap. Um, whenever it comes to doing artwork. Um, and I know that probably sounds funny, but it is. A lot of times, because whenever you're slicing on top of slices, that's what gets you. Not that it's super complex design, but yeah, it's layer upon layer. And you got to think about it that way. It's like whenever you're doing, like if you've had experience doing layers in vinyl, what gets you whenever you're doing like heat transfer and stuff like that? It's because you're doing a lot of colors on a lot of colors. It's the same kind of thing like with this. That's where it starts to get complicated. That's where it starts to get hard is whenever you're doing color on top of color. Because every time you're putting a color on top of a color and you're trying to cut out what's behind it, that's why you have issues. Well, that's the same thing for this. Every time you're asking it to cut around something, you're giving it something, a task to do. Well, that's when you start to have problems. So, okay. So anytime you see any of my artwork that has all those layers, this is something I am constantly going through and doing. It is like going back and doing all this cleanup. I'm kind of obsessive about it. Just so you know. In case you're wondering. Okay. Hopefully we're good now. It might help if I do. Okay. So, we only got one little thing to fix now. I think I can do it. I think I can. Don't you love how one little thing turns into 20 little thousand nodes? Hi, Bubba. I working. I working. Break apart. Okie dokie. Hi, babies. I will be through just a second. God, give me a second. Gotta give me a second. Okay. Join those together. Oh. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so that and that need to join. Okay. Let's see what we're working with. Okay. break apart, break apart. Join. Join. Okay, that's closed. Let's get rid of some of these nodes. How do we still have so many extra nodes? As many times as I've went and cleaned this up. See, this is what I say. It's like constant. I'm bringing back the yellow so I can make sure we don't have any gaps. Okay, okay. 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 Hold on. Okie dokie. Okay. Break apart. Okay. There we go. Had a funky little corner, didn't it? I tell y'all, it sucks to be a perfectionist. I mean, this part doesn't, but I could have just left well enough alone, converted it to outlines, and just left it well enough alone. Not made things so complicated, but I did not. That is not who I am. But guess what? It's done. It is done. It is now done. And it looks good. It looks perfect. It looks perfect. Absolutely perfect. And it is a good base for flowers. So you can use this one to pretty much make anything. And like, let me make that brown again. Brown. But you can change your petal colors. You can make them, you know, and make the outline black. Just what I meant to do. But you can make the outline black, make the petals pink, vice versa. You can take and change the colors to pretty much whatever you want to. And it's a great base flower to make a lot of different things off of. And we'll get more in depth into it. I think part of the problem that I'm having isn't actually that the slicing, like that I was doing things wrong. I think that Corel it just did an update and that was more of the issue because typically it's not that hard to slice circles and things like that. There isn't normally that much cleanup involved. Um, and so I think that's part of the thing because it normally does not take this long, honestly. Just to let you know, coming to think about things like that. So just to kind of give you a heads up, it's normally not that bad. Because if you watched my last one to do circles and things, I've done this before. It was not like this. Um, but hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you like it. The general layout is more of what I was concerned with. You learned how to put a flower together. The cleanup portion, maybe not so much. But if you like it, let me know. And I will see y'all in the next one. But I guess that's it. We will see y'all soon. And I will talk at you later.